Greetings to every single cooler around the world, and welcome back to another update on our beloved Spotify Camp Nou. What a wonderful day it is to be talking about this stadium once again because, as always, there is so much happening on that construction site that deserves our full attention and our full appreciation. Now, I know that international breaks can make life feel a little bit boring for passionate football fans like ourselves. When you are used to the rhythm of match days, the excitement of the build-up, the drama of the game itself, and the analysis and celebration that follows. Suddenly, having that taken away for a week or two leaves a gap that is hard to fill. But here is the thing, and this is something that every cooler who follows this channel already knows. The Camp Nou construction site never gets boring. It never stops delivering. And today is absolutely no exception to that rule. In fact, today we have a really varied and really exciting set of updates to take you through. We are going to be talking about the brand new slat design that is emerging at the Goal North. And trust me, when you see it, you are going to love it. We are going to look at the latest developments at the Goal South third tier, where things are finally moving forward in a really encouraging way. We are going to dive into the interior works and talk about the important electrical and wiring progress that is happening inside the structure. And we are going to check in on the diamond area, where the workers have expanded the scope of their work in a way that tells you very clearly how close those stores are getting to their finished form. There is a lot to get through today, so let us get straight into it. Starting at the Goal North, and this is genuinely one of the most visually exciting updates we have had to share in recent weeks. Because when you look at what is currently happening at the Goal North section in terms of the slat installation, something immediately and beautifully stands out. The design of the slats at the Goal North is different. Yes, you heard that correctly. The slat design at the Goal North is going to be distinctly different from the slat design in other areas of the stadium. And when you see it, when you really look at it carefully and appreciate what the designers and architects have created, it is genuinely beautiful. The new slat installation at the Goal North has a unique character, a unique aesthetic quality that sets it apart from the other sections. And the visual effect that it is creating in that part of the stadium is really something to behold. Moving along now to the Goal South, and there is a really encouraging and really significant development to report from this section of the stadium, particularly regarding the third tier in that area. And this is an update that I know many of you have been waiting to hear for quite some time. As I have been saying in our previous updates, the gaps that remain in the third tier around the Goal South section, the areas where terraces still need to be installed to complete the upper tier, have been one of the last remaining pieces of the third tier puzzle. Those gaps have been sitting there for a while, and every week I have been reassuring you that they would be filled, that the work was coming, and that within weeks we would see that section of the third tier completed. Well, that moment is now here. The workers have finally begun placing scaffoldings in those remaining gaps at the Goal South third tier. Scaffoldings going up in those gaps is the critical first step, the preparation that needs to happen before the terraces themselves can be installed and fitted into those spaces. And seeing those scaffoldings being erected in the remaining gaps tells you very clearly and very definitively that the filling of those spaces is imminent. We are not talking about months anymore. We are not even talking about many weeks. The remaining terraces at the Goal South third tier are going to be installed and in place within weeks, and when that happens, the third tier of the new Camp Nou will be completely and fully filled from one end of the stadium to the other. Think about what that moment is going to look like. The third tier of the new Camp Nou, stretching all the way around the stadium, completely filled with terraces, ready for seat installation, and beginning to look like the finished upper tier of the greatest stadium in the world. That moment is coming, and seeing those scaffoldings going up at the Goal South today tells you it is closer than ever. It is really nice to see, and it is something that every single Barcelona fan should feel genuinely excited about. Now let us step inside the structure and talk about something that does not always get as much attention as the more visually dramatic exterior works, but which is absolutely critical to the overall completion and functionality of the new Camp Nou, the interior electrical and wiring works. Because a significant amount of important technical progress has been happening inside the structure recently, and today, I want to make sure we give it the attention and the appreciation it deserves. The workers have recently brought a significant quantity of new cables to the construction site, and right now, the teams working on the interior are heavily focused on the electrical aspects of the build. The wiring and pathways that are being laid and installed throughout the interior of the structure are not visible in the same way that a new compression ring phalange or a fresh batch of slats are visible from the outside. But they are every bit as important, arguably even more so, because without the electrical infrastructure being correctly and comprehensively installed throughout the building, nothing else works. The lighting, the communication systems, the safety systems, the broadcast infrastructure, the public address systems, every single element of the operational life of a modern stadium depends on the electrical wiring and pathways being properly installed and properly connected, and the fact that the workers have brought plenty of new cables to the site and are now actively focusing on this phase of the interior. Works tells you that this critical phase of the build is being given the priority and the resource it needs. The interior of the new Camp Nou is being wired up, connected, and prepared for the operational systems that are going to bring this stadium to life. And finally, let us close today's update with a really exciting and really encouraging development from the Diamond area, because the scope of the works happening there has expanded significantly, and in a way that tells a very clear story about how close those stores are getting to their finished form. For several weeks now, we have been tracking the progress of the frame installation at the Diamond area stores, the door frames, the glass panels, the coffee shop frames, and that work has been advancing really impressively. But today there is a new and additional element to report, because the workers have now started working on the side blocks of the stores as well. It is not just the frames receiving attention anymore. The sidewalls of the stores are now actively being worked on simultaneously, and this expansion of the work scope at the Diamond area is a really significant indicator of where things stand in terms of the overall progress of that space. When workers start attending to the sidewalls alongside the frames, it tells you that the framing phase is approaching its conclusion and that the next phases of the fit-out are being prepared in parallel. Because here is what the workers are clearly planning once the frames are completely installed. They are going to move immediately and without delay into plastering the stores. The sidewall works being done now are the preparation for that plastering phase, ensuring that when the frames are done, there is no waiting around, no gap in the workflow, just immediate and seamless progression to the next stage, that kind of forward planning, that kind of overlapping workflow where the next phase is being prepared while the current phase is still being completed. It is exactly what you want to see on a construction project that is building towards its finishing stages. The Diamond area stores are getting closer and closer to their fully completed form, and the pace and the organization of the works there right now give every reason to feel confident that we are going to be seeing a fully plastered, fully finished Diamond area sooner than many people might expect. It is a really exciting space to watch develop, and the best is genuinely yet to come from there. What an update it has been today, Coolers. The international break keeping us away from the football, but absolutely not keeping us away from the excitement of the Camp Nou transformation. The Goal North slat installation advancing beautifully with a unique and stunning new design emerging. The Goal South third-tier scaffoldings finally going up in the remaining gaps, with terrace installation now imminent. The interior electrical and wiring works progressing with plenty of new cables brought to site, and the teams focused on getting the building properly connected. And the Diamond area expanding its scope with side wall works now underway alongside the frames, setting up for immediate plastering once the framing phase is complete. Just one more week of the international break, and our team will be back on the field. But until then, the Camp Nou construction site is keeping every single one of us more than satisfied with the daily progress it continues to deliver. Thank you so much for watching today's update. Make sure you are subscribed, make sure your notifications are on, and we will see you very soon in the next one. Visca El Barça always.